The Rich You, written and published by Rich Audiobooks. There's a version of you the world hasn't met yet, bold, abundant, unapologetic. The Rich You is not just a fantasy, it's the truest version of who you were always meant to be. But somewhere along the way you were taught to shrink, to settle, to survive instead of thrive. This book is a journey back to power, not by adding more, but by remembering who you already are. What if wealth wasn't something you had to chase, but something you had to claim? This is your permission to stop dimming, to stop doubting, and to fully embody the energy, identity, and clarity of the rich life that's already waiting inside you. The Rich You is real, and it's time to meet them. Lesson 1. You were made for more. From the moment you entered this world, you arrived with an innate capacity for abundance. Like a seed containing all the potential of a mighty oak tree, you were born with everything needed to create extraordinary wealth and prosperity. Yet somewhere along the way, most of us learned to doubt this fundamental truth. We absorbed limiting beliefs about money, success, and our own capabilities that have kept us playing far beneath our true potential. Consider how nature itself operates from a principle of abundance. A single apple tree produces hundreds of fruits, each containing multiple seeds, far more than needed for simple survival. The universe expands continuously, creating new stars and galaxies in an endless display of growth and abundance. This same force of expansion and abundance flows through you as a natural part of life itself. Your current financial situation is not a reflection of your true potential. It's merely a reflection of the programming you've received and the choices you've made up until now. Whether you grew up in poverty or comfort, whether you've experienced financial setbacks or steady progress, these circumstances don't define your capacity for wealth. They're simply part of the story that's brought you to this moment of awakening. The evidence of your natural abundance exists in your life already, though you may have overlooked it. Think about your ability to learn new skills, to solve complex problems, to create value for others. Consider the times you've overcome obstacles, achieved goals, or helped others succeed. These are all expressions of the unlimited potential within you. Your creativity, resilience, and capacity for growth are renewable resources that can be channeled into creating extraordinary wealth. The biological imperative of all living things is not merely to survive, but to thrive. Your body consists of trillions of cells working in perfect harmony, constantly regenerating and renewing themselves. Your brain contains billions of neural connections with the potential to form new pathways and possibilities throughout your entire life. You are, by design, a wealth-creating entity with the ability to generate ideas, solve problems, and create value on a massive scale. Breaking free from scarcity thinking requires understanding that limitation is learned, not natural. Every time you've told yourself, "I can't afford that, that's not for people like me," or "I'll never be that successful," you've been reinforcing artificial boundaries. These self-imposed limitations are like invisible walls in your mind, constructed from others' fears, societal conditioning, and past disappointment. The path to extraordinary wealth begins with giving yourself permission to want more, not from a place of lack or desperation, but from the deep knowing that expansion is your natural state. When you align with this truth, you stop asking whether you deserve abundance and start asking how you can expand your capacity to receive it. You begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles, and possibilities where others see limitations. Your journey to wealth isn't about becoming someone new. It's about returning to your original state of unlimited potential. It's about removing the constraints you've accepted and reconnecting with the abundant being you truly are. This requires courage to challenge your current beliefs about money, success, and your own capabilities. It demands willingness to step beyond the familiar boundaries of your comfort zone and into the territory of unprecedented possibility. As you move through this book, you'll discover that the wealthy version of yourself isn't a distant dream. It's who you already are beneath the layers of limitation. The process of becoming super rich is really a process of remembering and reclaiming your natural state of abundance. Every chapter will help you peel away another layer of scarcity thinking and strengthen your connection to the truth you were made for more, and that more is available to you now. Lesson 2. Stop shrinking, start expanding. For too long, you've been taught to contain yourself, to fit neatly within the boundaries that others have drawn for you. These invisible lines of limitation weren't created with your highest potential in mind. They were designed to keep you manageable, predictable, and safely within the confines of what society deems appropriate. But the truth is, your capacity for growth and achievement is vastly greater than what you've allowed yourself to explore. Think about a time when you deliberately made yourself smaller. Perhaps you downplayed an achievement to avoid making others uncomfortable, or you settled for less than what you truly wanted because it seemed more realistic. These moments of self-limitation aren't just isolated incidents. They're symptoms of a deeper pattern that's been holding you back from your true financial potential. The psychology of playing small is deeply rooted in our survival instincts. When we expand beyond our usual boundaries, our primitive brain sends warning signals trying to protect us from potential rejection or failure. But in today's world, this protective mechanism does more harm than good. It keeps us trapped in a cycle of mediocrity, preventing us from taking the bold actions that lead to extraordinary wealth. Your comfort zone is not a place of safety, it's a cage of your own making. Each time you choose comfort over growth, you're reinforcing the bars of this cage. The enough mentality is particularly insidious because it masquerades as contentment while actually being a form of self-sabotage. There's nothing virtuous about limiting your capacity to create, earn, and impact the world on a grander scale. Expansion isn't just about making more money, it's about becoming more of who you truly are. When you start expanding in one area of your life, it creates a ripple effect that touches everything else. Your relationships deepen, your impact grows, and your ability to generate wealth naturally increases. This is because expansion is your natural state. Contraction is learned behavior. To begin your expansion journey, start noticing where you've placed artificial caps on your potential. Are you refusing to raise your rates because you're afraid of what others might think? Are you staying in a position that's beneath your capabilities because it feels secure? These self-imposed limitations are costing you not just financially, but in terms of personal fulfillment and impact. The expansion mindset requires regular practice. Each day presents countless opportunities to choose growth over constraint. When you catch yourself thinking, "That's not for me," or "I could never do that," recognize these thoughts as invitations to expand. Rather than automatically accepting these limitations, ask yourself, what if I could? What would become possible if I removed this artificial ceiling? Your capacity for wealth is directly proportional to your willingness to expand. The market rewards those who dare to grow, who consistently push past their previous limitations and bring more value to the world. Every time you feel the urge to shrink, to make yourself smaller or more palatable to others, recognize it as a signal to do the opposite, to expand even more boldly. This expansion isn't about reckless or aggressive growth. It's about thoughtful, intentional stretching of your capabilities and beliefs. It's about recognizing that every time you've grown in the past, what once seemed impossible became your new normal. The same principle applies to wealth creation. The income level that seems outrageous today will become your baseline tomorrow if you commit to consistent expansion. Take up more space, raise your standards, increase your expectations. The world needs your expanded version, not your diminished one. Your wealth journey begins with a conscious decision to stop shrinking and start expanding in every area of your life. The resources, opportunities, and connections you need will appear when you commit to showing up as your largest, most expansive self. Lesson 3. Claim your rich identity. Your relationship with wealth begins with who you believe yourself to be. Every action, decision, and outcome in your financial life stems from your core identity, the fundamental story you tell yourself about who you are and what you deserve. Many people struggle to create wealth not because they lack capability, but because they haven't fully embodied the identity of a wealthy person. Think about how you currently view yourself in relation to money. Do you see yourself as someone who is always trying to catch up, someone who has to work extremely hard for every dollar, or someone who naturally attracts abundance? Your honest answer reveals your current money identity, which acts as an internal thermostat regulating your financial temperature. The good news is that identity is not fixed. It's a chosen narrative that you can consciously reshape. Creating your wealthy alter ego begins with permission to see yourself differently. Instead of waiting to feel wealthy once you have money, you must first become the person who naturally attracts and maintains wealth. This means adopting the thought patterns, behaviors, and standards of someone who is already financially abundant. Your language plays a crucial role in this identity shift. Notice how you speak about money, success, and your own capabilities. Do you use phrases like, "I can't afford that," "That's not for people like me," or "I'll never be able to." These seemingly innocent expressions actually reinforce an identity of lack. Begin consciously choosing language that aligns with your wealthy identity. "I'm choosing to invest elsewhere right now. I'm creating the means to have that, building toward that goal." Your environment must also reflect and support your elevated identity. Look around your physical space. Does it represent someone who values themselves and expects abundance? This doesn't mean spending beyond your means, but rather treating your surroundings as an investment in your wealthy self-improvement. Keep your space organized, surround yourself with beauty within your current means, and eliminate anything that reminds you of financial struggle or scarcity. The wealthy identity becomes cemented through daily ritual and practice. Each morning, take time to step into your wealthy persona. Visualize yourself moving through the world as someone who is comfortable with money, who makes confident financial decisions, who attracts opportunities naturally. How does this version of you walk, talk, and interact with others? What standards do they maintain? What boundaries do they set? Embody these qualities before you even leave your home. Claiming your rich identity isn't about pretending or fake it till you make it superficiality. It's about recognizing and stepping into your inherent worthiness for abundance. Your wealthy identity should feel like coming home to yourself, not like wearing an uncomfortable costume. When you encounter resistance or self-doubt, treat these as opportunities to strengthen your new identity rather than evidence that it's not real. As you move through your day, look for opportunities to make decisions from your wealthy identity rather than your historical patterns. When faced with choices about money, time, or opportunities, ask yourself, what would my wealthy self do here? This simple question helps bypass ingrained scarcity responses and allows your elevated identity to guide your actions. Your rich identity will naturally attract people, opportunities, and resources that match its frequency. You'll find yourself having different conversations, being invited into new circles, and noticing possibilities that were always there but previously invisible to your scarcity-minded self. This is not magic, it's the natural result of showing up in the world as someone who expects and creates abundance. The transition to your wealthy identity is a practice of conscious choice and realignment. Each time you choose thoughts, words, and actions that align with your abundant self, you strengthen this new identity. Let go of the need to have everything figured out or to make the shift perfectly. Your wealthy identity is already within you, waiting to be acknowledged and expressed. Lesson 4. Let go of guilt around wealth. Money guilt is one of the most insidious barriers standing between you and true abundance. This peculiar form of emotional baggage often runs so deep that we don't even recognize its presence, yet it silently sabotages our every attempt to create wealth. You may notice it as a slight discomfort when spending on yourself, a tendency to apologize for your success, or an overwhelming need to justify your desires for more. This guilt doesn't emerge from nowhere. It's carefully constructed through years of social conditioning. From childhood stories portraying wealthy people as villains to religious teachings about the virtue of poverty, our culture is saturated with messages that frame wealth as morally suspect. You've likely internalized these narratives without even realizing it, creating an internal conflict between your desire for abundance and your need to be good. The truth is, wealth guilt is not only unnecessary but actively harmful to your capacity to create positive change in the world. When you diminish your own abundance, you simultaneously diminish your power to help others. Consider this: every dollar you earn has the potential to create value, generate employment, fund innovations, or support causes you believe in. By allowing yourself to prosper, you become a conduit for prosperity in your community and beyond. The intersection of spirituality and wealth is particularly fraught for many people. You might believe that pursuing material success somehow makes you less spiritual or authentic. Yet throughout history, many spiritual teachings actually embrace abundance as a natural expression of divine energy. The key lies in approaching wealth as a stewardship rather than mere accumulation, understanding that financial resources are a tool for expressing your highest values and creating positive impact. The healing journey begins with acknowledging the validity of your desires. Your wish for wealth isn't greed. It's a natural yearning for expansion, security, and the ability to express your full potential. Start by giving yourself permission to want more. Notice the discomfort that arises and welcome it as a sign that you're pushing beyond old limitation. Examine your money memories, particularly those from childhood. Perhaps you witnessed your parents struggling with finances, or absorbed messages about rich people being unethical. These experiences created emotional patterns that still influence your relationship with wealth today. By bringing these memories into conscious awareness, you can begin to release their hold on your present choices. The process of releasing wealth guilt requires consistent practice in receiving. Start small. Accept compliments gracefully. Allow others to treat you. Receive help when offered. Each time you successfully receive without diminishment or immediate reciprocation, you strengthen your capacity for greater abundance. Your system gradually learns that it's safe and appropriate to accept good things. Consider the role models who have successfully merged wealth with positive impact. Study how they navigate the responsibility of abundance without shame or apology. Notice how their wealth amplifies their ability to implement meaningful change. This isn't about copying their path, but about expanding your vision of what's possible when you embrace both prosperity and purpose. Built around wealth often masks a deeper fear, the fear of your own power. As you release the guilt, you may encounter this fear directly. Welcome it as a signal that you're growing into your full potential. Your capacity for wealth is intrinsically connected to your capacity for impact, and embracing one naturally expands the other. Your journey to wealth isn't just about accumulating resources. It's about becoming someone who can handle abundance with grace, wisdom, and purpose. As you release the guilt that has held you back, you create space for a new relationship with wealth, one based on conscious stewardship rather than shame or apology. This transformation not only serves your own evolution, but ripples out to influence everyone your increased prosperity touches. Lesson 5. Say yes to opulence. Opulence isn't just about material possessions. It's a state of being that declares you're ready to experience life at its fullest. For too long, you may have associated luxury with guilt, or viewed abundance as something reserved for others. Today marks your permission slip to embrace the opulent life you were meant to live. Think about how nature expresses itself. Flowers don't bloom halfway, waterfalls don't hold back their force, and peacocks don't hide their magnificent feathers. The universe itself is an expression of magnificent abundance, from the countless stars in the galaxy to the endless waves of the ocean. By embracing opulence, you're simply aligning yourself with the natural order of things. Your ability to receive is directly proportional to your comfort with abundance. Many people unconsciously reject wealth by maintaining rigid beliefs about what they deserve or what's appropriate for someone like them. When you see a beautiful house, do you immediately think, "That's not for me," or do you allow yourself to imagine living there? When you spot a luxury car, do you admire it openly or quickly look away? These small reactions reveal your current relationship with opulence. Training yourself to receive more goodness starts with small steps. Begin by upgrading one aspect of your daily life, perhaps your morning coffee ritual, your bedding, or your workout gear. Notice how it feels to experience a higher quality version of something familiar. Pay attention to any resistance that comes up, whether it's thoughts about cost or worthiness. These moments of awareness are opportunities to reshape your relationship with luxury. Creating an opulence vision requires engaging all your senses. Imagine the textures, scents, and sensations of your ideal affluent life. What does wealth feel like on your skin? What does it smell like in your dream home? How does it sound when you walk through your ideal day? By making your vision vivid and sensory-rich, you're programming your nervous system to recognize and attract these experiences. The art of gracious receiving is a crucial skill for the wealthy. When someone offers you a compliment, a gift, or an opportunity, do you deflect it or embrace it fully? Practice saying thank you without minimizing or immediately trying to reciprocate. Allow yourself to be spoiled occasionally without feeling the need to justify or explain. This receptivity signals to the universe that you're ready for more. Your environment should reflect your commitment to opulence. Clear out items that represent settling or scarcity. Replace worn-out things with their highest quality counterparts as you're able. Create spaces in your home that feel luxurious to you, even if you start with just one corner. Your physical surroundings are constantly sending messages to your subconscious about what you deserve. Opulence isn't about impressing others or competing. It's about honoring your inherent worth through the quality of your experiences. When you say yes to opulence, you're saying yes to life itself. You're declaring that you're ready to be a channel for abundance, allowing wealth to flow through you and touch everyone you encounter. The more comfortable you become with receiving, the more you'll have to give. Your journey to wealth requires you to expand your capacity for pleasure and abundance. Start noticing where you've been rationing joy or limiting your experiences. Challenge yourself to choose the upgrade, accept the gift, or spring for the luxury version. As you practice saying yes to opulence, you'll find that life responds by offering you even more opportunities to experience its richness. Lesson 6. Own the spotlight. True wealth creation is intrinsically linked to visibility. The most successful people in the world understand that. Being seen is not about ego, being seen about expanding your sphere of influence and maximizing your ability to create value. When you hide your gifts and capabilities from the world, you're not just doing yourself a disservice, you're denying others the opportunity to benefit from what you have to offer. Many of us have been conditioned to believe that seeking attention is somehow wrong or shameful. We've internalized messages about staying humble, not standing out, and avoiding the spotlight. But this mindset is fundamentally at odds with your capacity to generate tremendous wealth and impact. The marketplace rewards those who are willing to step forward, share their vision, and take up space in the world. Consider how wealth is created, through connections, opportunities, and the ability to reach those who need what you provide. When you increase your visibility, you exponentially multiply these possibilities. Every time you share your expertise, showcase your achievements, or demonstrate your unique perspective, you're creating new pathways for abundance to flow into your life. This isn't about bragging or self-promotion for its own sake. It's about strategically positioning yourself to serve at the highest level. Fear of visibility often masks deeper concerns about judgment, criticism, or being found out as somehow inadequate. But true power comes from embracing vulnerability and showing up authentically, even when it feels uncomfortable. The wealthy understand that criticism is often a sign they're making waves and challenging the status quo. They've learned to separate valid feedback from the noise of those who resist change or success in others. Your personal brand is one of your most valuable assets in building wealth. It's the story you tell about yourself, the value you represent, and the unique combination of experiences and insights only you can offer. When you consciously craft and share this narrative, you attract aligned opportunities and the right resources to support your vision. This isn't about creating a false image. It's about thoughtfully presenting your authentic self in a way that resonates with those you're meant to serve. The spotlight isn't just about being seen, it's about being strategic with your visibility. This means choosing the right platforms, audiences, and messages to amplify your impact. It means showing up consistently in spaces where your ideal clients, partners, and opportunities congregate. Whether through speaking engagements, social media, published works, or media appearances, each visibility opportunity should align with your larger wealth creation strategy. As you step more fully into the spotlight, you'll notice a fascinating phenomenon. Opportunities begin to multiply. People start seeking you out rather than you having to chase them down. Your perceived value increases simply because more people are aware of what you offer. This creates a positive feedback loop where increased visibility leads to more opportunities, which in turn create even greater visibility. Being visible also means being vulnerable to criticism and judgment. But the wealthy understand that this is simply part of the journey. They know that their message and mission are more important than their comfort. They've learned to use criticism as fuel for growth and to let praise inform but not define them. This emotional resilience is crucial for maintaining a strong presence in the spotlight. Your wealth journey requires you to be seen in your full power. It asks you to share your voice, stand firm in your value, and allow your light to shine brightly. When you fully own the spotlight, you give others permission to do the same. You become a beacon for what's possible, attracting both the resources and relationships that will elevate your wealth to new heights. Lesson 7. Choose the rich you every day. Your journey to extraordinary wealth isn't a one-time decision. It's a series of conscious choices you make moment by moment, day after day. Each morning when you wake up, you have the opportunity to step into your wealthy identity or default back to old patterns of scarcity thinking. The difference between those who achieve lasting prosperity and those who remain stuck often comes down to this daily recommitment to being your wealthiest self. Think of your wealthy identity as a precious garment you must intentionally put on each morning. Just as you wouldn't accidentally wear a couture gown or bespoke suit, You don't accidentally embody your highest value self. It requires deliberate action, starting with your first thoughts upon waking. Are you immediately checking your phone, reacting to others' demands, and sliding into worry? Or are you taking those crucial first moments to center yourself in abundance, reviewing your grand vision, and setting powerful intentions for the day ahead? Your daily choices create momentum that compounds over time. When you consistently choose the premium option, make the bold move, or invest in growth opportunities, you train your brain to operate at a higher level. These aren't just external actions, they're internal signals that reinforce your wealthy identity. Ordering the better wine, booking the nicer hotel room, or investing in high-level mentorship might feel uncomfortable at first. But each stretched decision builds your prosperity muscles and expands your capacity to receive. The wealthy version of you has specific habits and practices that may look very different from your current routines. They wake up earlier, spend more time in strategic thinking, and carefully guard their energy and attention. They read different materials, have different conversations, and focus on different priorities. Most importantly, they make decisions from their future wealthy self rather than their past limited identity. When faced with choices, they ask, "What would my wealthy self do in this situation?" Yet even with strong intentions, you'll inevitably have moments where scarcity thinking creeps back in. The key is to build a wealth consciousness maintenance system that helps you quickly recognize and redirect these patterns. This might include morning visualization practices, empowering affirmations, or regular review of your financial goals and vision board. Some find it helpful to keep physical anchors nearby, perhaps a luxury item or symbol of success, as tangible reminders of their wealthy identity. Creating accountability structures can significantly strengthen your commitment to daily wealthy choices. This might mean joining a mastermind of high-achieving peers, working with a wealth consciousness coach, or simply sharing your goals with someone who believes in your potential. The key is to surround yourself with people and environments that normalize the level of success you're moving toward. Your wealthy identity needs nurturing through regular practices that align your energy with abundance. This could include meditation focused on expanding your prosperity consciousness, journaling about your wealth vision, or engaging in activities that make you feel abundant and successful. The specific practices matter less than the consistency with which you engage in them. Choosing your wealthy identity isn't about perfection, it's about direction and correction. There will be days when you slip into old patterns or make choices from fear rather than abundance. The wealthy response isn't self-judgment, but rather quick realignment with your higher self. Each moment offers a fresh opportunity to choose again, to reset your wealth consciousness, and to act from your most prosperous identity. Living as your wealthy self is both a moment-by-moment choice and a long-term commitment to your highest evolution. It's about consistently choosing thoughts, actions, and experiences that align with the prosperous future you're creating. As you make these choices day after day, you'll find your wealthy identity becoming more natural, more authentic, and more powerfully magnetic to the abundance you desire. Lesson 8. Think like a millionaire, act like one. The gap between where you are and where you want to be financially often comes down to one crucial element: your thought patterns. Millionaires don't just have different bank accounts, they have fundamentally different ways of processing information, making decisions, and viewing opportunities. This distinct cognitive architecture is what allows them to spot and seize wealth-building opportunities that others miss entirely. When you study the ultra-wealthy, you'll notice they share a particular relationship with time. While most people think in terms of hours and days, millionaires think in terms of decades and generations. They understand that true wealth isn't built through quick wins, but through strategic positioning and compound effects. This longer time horizon influences every decision they make, from investments to relationship building to skill development. The wealthy also maintain an unwavering focus on value creation rather than cost reduction. While the average person obsesses over saving money on small purchases, millionaires concentrate on generating more value in the marketplace. They ask themselves, how can I solve bigger problems for more people, rather than how can I spend less? This shift in focus naturally leads to exponential rather than incremental growth. Risk assessment is another area where millionaire thinking diverges from the norm. The wealthy don't avoid risk, they calculate it differently. They understand that the biggest risk is often not taking any risk at all. Instead of seeking security through playing it safe, they secure their future by taking strategic, well-researched risks that others shy away from. They've learned to distinguish between reckless gambling and intelligent risk-taking that offers asymmetric upside potential. Decision-making among the ultra-wealthy follows a distinct pattern as well. They make decisions based on ROI, return on investment, rather than initial cost. Whether it's hiring staff, investing in technology, or pursuing additional education, they evaluate opportunities based on potential returns rather than upfront expenses. This mindset allows them to invest heavily in areas that others might consider too expensive, but which ultimately yield substantial returns. The wealthy also maintain different emotional relationships with money. They view money as a neutral tool rather than attaching moral or emotional significance to it. This emotional neutrality allows them to make clearer, more objective financial decisions without the burden of guilt, fear, or anxiety that often clouds financial judgment for others. Information consumption patterns among millionaires are notably different too. They deliberately seek out high-quality information sources and invest significantly in their education and network. They understand that their net worth is directly tied to their network and knowledge base. While others spend time consuming passive entertainment, the wealthy prioritize learning from those who have already achieved what they aspire to accomplish. Perhaps most importantly, millionaires maintain an unwavering belief in abundance. They know that wealth isn't a zero-sum game, and that creating value for others is the surest path to creating wealth for themselves. This abundance mindset allows them to be genuinely generous while simultaneously building their own wealth, creating a positive cycle of value creation and return. Acting like a millionaire means embodying these thought patterns in your daily decisions and behaviors. It means choosing the long term over the short term, value creation over cost cutting, and strategic risk-taking over playing it safe. It means investing in yourself, your knowledge, and your network, while maintaining emotional equilibrium in your relationship with money. Most importantly, it means believing in abundance and your ability to create value for others while building substantial wealth for yourself. The transformation into millionaire thinking isn't just about adapting new ideas. It's about rewiring your entire decision-making framework. As you begin to think and act like a millionaire, you'll notice opportunities that were always present but previously invisible to you. Your decisions will naturally align with wealth creation, and your actions will reflect the confidence and strategic approach of the ultra-wealthy. Lesson 9. Make peace with your power. True power isn't about domination or control over others. It's about the ability to create positive change and manifest your deepest desires. Yet many of us have a complicated relationship with power, especially when it comes to wielding financial influence. We've been conditioned to believe that seeking power is somehow wrong, or that we're not worthy of having significant impact. This discomfort with power often stems from witnessing its misuse throughout history and in our own experiences. We've seen power corrupted and abused, leading us to subconsciously reject it altogether. But power itself is neutral. It's simply the capacity to affect outcomes. When aligned with wisdom and compassion, power becomes a force for tremendous good in the world. Your journey to wealth requires making peace with your own power. This means understanding that your ability to generate and direct financial resources is a sacred responsibility, not a burden to be feared or avoided. When you fully step into your power, you create ripple effects that benefit far more people than just yourself. Your success enables you to support causes you believe in, create opportunities for others, and model what's possible. The first step in embracing your power is acknowledging where you've been giving it away. Notice the subtle ways you might diminish yourself, deferring important decisions, seeking excessive permission or validation, or downplaying your achievements. These patterns often mask as humility but actually prevent you from operating at your highest potential. Real humility comes from being secure enough in your power to use it wisely. As you reclaim your power, you'll likely face resistance, both internal and external. Some people in your life may feel threatened by your expanding influence and try to keep you small. Your own inner critic might question whether you can handle greater power responsibly. These are natural parts of the journey that signal you're growing beyond old limitations. The key is developing a healthy relationship with power that feels authentic to your values. This means getting clear on how you want to use your influence and creating guidelines for yourself about wielding it ethically. Consider what kind of power holder you want to be and consciously cultivate those qualities, perhaps wisdom, discernment, generosity, or courage. Your power grows stronger when you align it with purpose. Rather than accumulating influence for its own sake, focus on the positive impact you can create. Let your growing wealth and power serve as tools for manifesting your vision of a better world. This purpose-driven approach helps ensure your power remains in service of the greater good. Making peace with your power also means accepting that you'll make mistakes along the way. No one uses their influence perfectly all the time. The goal isn't flawless execution, but rather conscious engagement with your own capacity to effect change. When you mess up, learn from it and course correct rather than retreating from your power altogether. As your wealth and influence grow, continue developing your relationship with power. Seek out mentors who model healthy power dynamics. Study how other successful people navigate having significant impact while maintaining their integrity. Your power is meant to expand over time. There's no fixed limit to what you can achieve when you're at peace with your own potential. Your power is not something to fear or reject. It's a natural extension of who you are meant to become. By making peace with your ability to create change through wealth and influence, you free yourself to have the full impact you're capable of. The world needs more conscious, ethical power holders who understand the responsibility that comes with their capacity to effect positive transformation. Lesson 10. Step fully into your worth. Your journey to claiming your full financial potential culminates in this fundamental truth. Stepping fully into your worth is not just an option, it's your responsibility. Throughout history, those who created the greatest impact and left lasting legacies were those who refused to diminish their light or question their value. They understood that their worth wasn't just about them. It was about the ripple effect their confidence and conviction created in the world. When you step fully into your worth, you give others permission to do the same. Consider how your increased sense of value transforms not just your bank account, but your relationships, your impact, and your legacy. Each time you honor your worth through your pricing, your boundaries, or your standards, you create a new paradigm of possibility for everyone around you. Your worth isn't measured by your current circumstances or past experiences. It's an innate quality that exists independently of external validation or temporary setbacks. Just as a diamond's value doesn't diminish when it's covered in dirt, your intrinsic worth remains constant regardless of life's challenges. The key is to align your external reality with this unchangeable internal truth. But many resist stepping fully into their worth because they fear the responsibility that comes with it. They worry about maintaining higher standards, meeting elevated expectations, or handling increased visibility. But consider this. By playing small, you're not just shortchanging yourself. You're depriving the world of the unique value only you can provide. Your worth is like a muscle that strengthens with use. The more you honor it, the more natural it becomes to operate from this elevated state. The practical application of stepping into your worth shows up in countless daily moments. It's in how you introduce yourself at networking events, the projects you choose to take on, the rates you charge, and the way you handle disagreements. It's reflected in the clothes you wear, the spaces you occupy, and the company you keep. Each of these choices either affirms or undermines your worth. Living from your full worth requires vigilance against old patterns of self-doubt and undervaluation. These patterns often disguise themselves as practicality or humility, but they're really just fear in disguise. True humility isn't about diminishing yourself. It's about seeing yourself clearly and operating from that truth without inflation or deflation. The relationship between worth and wealth is direct and undeniable. When you fully embody your worth, money naturally flows toward you because you're operating at your highest frequency of value. You attract opportunities that match your sense of worth, and you handle these opportunities with the confidence of someone who knows their value. Your worth encompasses not just your skills and experiences, but your presence, your insight, your energy, and your potential. It includes the wisdom you've gained from your struggles and the unique perspective you bring to every situation. When you step fully into this complete picture of your worth, you stop asking for permission to succeed and start claiming the abundance that's already yours. This isn't about becoming someone new, it's about revealing who you've always been. The rich you isn't a distant future self to aspire to. It's your natural state when you remove the limitations and doubts that have accumulated over time. By stepping fully into your worth, you're not being arrogant or unrealistic. You're simply aligning with the truth of who you are and what you're capable of contributing to the world. Worth once claimed, must be maintained through consistent action and belief. This isn't a one-time decision, but a moment-by-moment choice to honor your value in every interaction and opportunity. The rich you emerges fully when this choice becomes so ingrained that operating from your full worth becomes as natural as breathing.